This is Andrew for the Chosen Prime with a video preview of Iron Factory Shadow Tengu IF-EX19, which is their take on a legend scale and class Sixshot. Here you can see the figure on the right. This is a production sample, so here you can see his box. Nice standard Iron Factory box. He does come packaged in a clamshell. You get instructions. And then Tengu here, he does come with several different weapons. He comes with a pair of swords, a pair of his standard white guns, as well as some little cannons here that are used for a couple of his modes. So let's go ahead and take a look at some detail here for Shadow Tengu. Taking a closer look here at Shadow Tengu, you can see he's a nice, detailed, and small figure here. He's about 4 inches the top of his head here, and about 5 inches the top of these wings. So he matches a similar style to the rest of their Legends line, and I'll show some comparisons off with the other kind of Phase 6ers in a little bit. But you can see that it is a very nice, detailed and painted version of Sixshot. No real hollow parts, and kind of what you would expect from a kind of a smaller scaled version of Sixshot. His head here is on a ball joint. The eyes have been painted red. These little wings here in the front can fold in out of the way. The arms are on kind of a double hinge here, and I'll get to it with transformation, but you can rotate them all the way around. They've got a outwards pivot. He does have a bicep swivel. He can curl his arms quite far. The hands do not rotate. These little wheel pieces here rotate for transformation, so you can kind of move them out of the way if you like. He does have a waist swivel, ball jointed legs to move forward and back, double jointed knee. He does have a thigh swivel up at this point, and then just a tiny little bit of toe articulation, mostly due to transformation. The wings on his back here, they can slide out as well as angle down, so you have options of kind of posing them however you like, but standard Sixshot is kind of just up here straight against his back. And he also has a little, it's mostly due to transformation, you can see that his pelvis is kind of facing more forward in robot mode here, and for other mode you actually want to slide his torso kind of forward, and there's a sliding piece here to kind of move his pelvis further back. It helps with transformation, and again I'll show that off in a little bit of how that all works. As far as weapons for Shadow Tengu here, he does come with a pair of chrome swords. These are the same swords that came with their drift, and he can hold them in his hands. And you can wield them that way. Nice little bits of bonus weapons, kind of standard for Iron Factory releases. He also comes with his standard kind of Sixshot styled guns here, and again you can just easily peg them into his hands, and you can have kind of Sixshot armed as we're kind of used to seeing him. He also does come with a pair of these little kind of cannon pieces here. He comes with 2 of them, but these come into play with his different kind of modes he has. As far as poseability, again with the knees and kind of the stuff, you get a nice posable ball joint here. You get a nice posable version of Sixshot here from Iron Factory. Really cool, detailed figure, and if you've liked their previous releases, you're gonna like Shadow Tengu here. So let's go ahead and take a look at all his different modes. All 6 of Shadow Tengu's modes have the same kind of base mode that they all kind of stem from, which is mostly just hiding things. So we'll start by closing these 2 chest flaps, coming to his back, spraying the wings so we can grab the wolf head, pull down to reveal the robot mode head. We want to fold it in, and then there's a tab that matches a slot on the chest when we close it up. So you hide the head that way. Come to the fists, essentially the underside with the tread side. Lift up on this panel, rotate the fist in 180 degrees. There's the wolf claw, but for now we want to push it down to just kind of have it be hidden. So we'll do the other hand here real quick. Flip this down. Come to his toes here, flip them up on each side. And essentially this is the base mode that we will do all the different transformations into. His gun mode is the easiest mode to kind of get him into, so we'll come to the back here, take these wings and stretch them downwards. There's a matching tab and tab slot on the other side. We want to peg them together to make the handle. Come to the feet, peg them together. We take the white guns and peg them into the side of his legs here on each side. Take these smaller cannons here. There are peg holes in the underside of each leg. We want to peg them into the interior and kind of aim them forward on each side. And then it's kind of just a matter of just kind of getting him straight, getting everything posed right. And there he is in his weapon, gun mode. Or if you want to, you could have him be in the submarine mode. As far as the arms up here, it's kind of personal preference and how you want to rotate it. The instructions have them kind of just set up like this, but the box has got them with the arms kind of rotated around this way. So it's kind of however you want to pose it. If you want to rotate it with the wheels in, wheels out, it's kind of however you like it. I kind of like it with the wheels kind of just turned upwards like this to kind of make it so the outside of the kind of gun mode here. It looks clean. Nice, simple, and very, standard for what a six-shot kind of gun mode looks like. One thing to note about how his arms work here, and that I was talking about earlier, is if we look here, there's like a T portion on the underside of the arm here, and this entire arm rotates forward and back. So if you rotate it, you can see that now this T port's facing backwards. It can also face upwards to kind of move where the overall arm kind of rotates. And it depends on the mode. You can see how much different the arm kind of heights change, and it depends on the mode how they want you to set it up. And the instructions actually say it, and I'll call it out of how it kind of wants to rotate each of the arms when it's in each of his modes. So let's go ahead and take a look at his next mode. We'll do his beast mode next. So we'll come to the back here, take the wolf mode head, kind of just fold it forward, take the wings, fold them back. These little claw pieces on each one of the hands, we want to just fold them out so they're kind of facing this way on each side. And then what they recommend is for this mode to have that little T portion facing to the back of the robot, so that these arms kind of facing more forward. So we want to rotate them on that hinge. And then now we want to take the arms and rotate them forward so the claws are forward. Kind of angle the wolf mode head downward. Come to the legs here, and they actually have a separate joint where you can bend each of the legs. Fold down these toes. And there is Sixshot's kind of wolf mode. The head here, the wolf mode hair can look up and down, is on that separate hinge. The mouth does open. The arms here, can pivot to the sides. If we like, we can even move these further in to get more clearance for the arms. The arms do rotate and do have the claws that can fold down a little bit. And here is his wolf mode. Again, he does have a little bit more poseability in this mode. The legs are separate. The kind of toes here in the back can move, so you can kind of have them further out. Same thing with the arms. You can kind of have him leaning a little bit more forward. Probably my favorite overall kind of mode here for this Legends class Sixshot. Very nice effort here from Iron Factory. So on to his next mode. For his tank mode, we want to make sure that the T pieces here are facing backwards, so that the treads are kind of closer to the chest on both sides. We also want to come to the pelvis here like we did before. We want to push it so that it goes further back against torso. And it can be a bit tricky, but essentially it does. You can see it slides back. We want to make sure that the treads are facing downward like this. Come to the top up here. We'll get these wings out of the way like that. And the legs will, they will double hinge like this. And we want to peg them together. So it's kind of sitting like this with slightly behind, and then take the wings and push them underneath the legs. And we'll come to these pieces and rotate them around. Now it's just a matter of arming him. So we just similar to his gun mode or submarine mode, we want to install all the weapons here on his legs. The white piece on the outside, and then the gray ones here peg in into the interior of the legs. Standard kind of tank mode here for Sixshot. Kind of folded over on himself with the weapons. Because the legs are double jointed, he can, raise up the turret and kind of bring it forward or bring it back. You do have options with posing them, as well as you can rotate the cannons if you like. Nice little tank mode, so on to the next. For his vehicle mode, we want to, one, make sure that those little T pieces here for the shoulders are rotated all the way to the top, according to the instructions. So just rotate them so that they are, those T parts towards the top of the head. And then we will make sure that the kind of wheel parts are facing outwards, so rotate this piece down and the shoulder piece down on both sides, kind of seeing the vehicle mode wheels. The wheels actually do roll, which is a little interesting. Next we come to the legs here, and the legs will open up, the panels here will open up. There's a heel spur here we want to fold in on both sides, and then the leg will collapse on in itself like this, and then you can go ahead and collapse that panel. So we'll do the other leg real quick. Open it up, flip in the heel spur, bend this over onto itself, peg the legs together, close this panel. Take the wings and we want to bring them forward on both sides, and then there's little, it's not really showing the instruction, these little flaps here on each of the wings we want to fold in to kind of help fill in these spaces here on each side. And then the toes here from the robot mode we want to fold back to kind of give it a little bit kind of smoother look up top. Standard kind of vehicle mode for Sixshots, definitely the weakest of the modes, mostly because of this kind of open front up here. But you know, he does have this sixth, you know, additional mode here for his vehicle. So on to the final. For his jet mode, one, make sure that the arms are rotated so that the T-peg is towards his head. Similar to the car, our vehicle mode, we want to collapse his legs, so we will do that quickly. Fold in that heel spur on each side. So open the panel, fold in the heel spur, collapse the leg, take them together, collapse that panel. Take these two kind of jet mode front pieces here and collapse them together. But now we want to take the arms so that the green parts are facing forward. And we want to rotate this so that you're seeing that part smooth. The instructions have it with the tank treads kind of up in this mode. Take the wings and pull them to the sides and then fully extend them on each side here. Come to the chest wing here. We want to open those up. And now we have his base jet mode. We take his weapons, and there is a tab slot on each wing here that matches a slot in the guns here. And it can be a bit loose, but they do peg in on each side. Again, yeah, this one's a little bit loose on this pre-production sample. But just to show it off, I'll install it this way. But here is, you know, Sixshot in his jet slash spaceship mode. Nice little mode. Again, very standard for a Sixshot, and definitely impressive that Iron Factory was able to do it at this kind of legend scale. So let's go ahead and take a look at comparisons for Shadow Tengu here. Romo comparisons for Shadow Tengu with some other Iron Factory figures. Here on the left we've got Evil Lord, which is their Overlord, and here we've got Soul Reaper, which is their Black Shadow. These guys are all Phase 6ers, which means they're kind of like the biggest and baddest of the Decepticon crew. Of course, these are all small versions of those guys. But you can see that Shadow Tengu is about a head taller than Soul Reaper, but a head shorter than Evil Lord. But stylistically, these trio of Decepticons do match. Iron Factory's done a pretty good job of giving us these versions of the characters for Legends collections, and definitely in their style. And just really nice looking robot modes here for these three figures. Vehicle mode comparisons. Here you can see how Shadow Tengu stacks up to Soul Reaper in his jet mode. And you can see that their jet modes are relatively the same size. Of course, he's bigger than Evil Lord, considering Evil Lord, you know, splits into two separate pieces. But overall, you can see that their vehicle modes here, as for these Phase 6ers, are quite nice. And of course, you know, he has his other 5 modes to kind of play with as well. Some final thoughts here for Iron Factory's EX19 Shadow Tengu, or their version of a Legend Scale Sixshot. This is an excellent version of Sixshot. He does have all 6 modes, nice bits of paint, nice poseability, overall nice build. He matches the previous releases from Iron Factory like Evil Lord, Shadow Reaper, and Lord Scorpion. It's just a really nice figure, and it's just a fun little Sixshot to have for your collection. This is a pre-production sample. We hope to have our stock of these figures sometime within the next month or 2. If you'd like to add Shadow Tengu to your Legends collection, he does come recommended, so take care.